This blog post used to take 5 hours to research and write, and now it's 15 minutes with this workflow. And it's better researched and written than I could have done it, for sure. I'm honestly not exaggerating. I have built this workflow to save me a lot of hours, and I've saved around 100 hours for sure in this year already. That's almost 3 weeks of work that I get back just by having this automated. Here's the secret. I'm not using one AI. I'm using multiple AIs. I'm sure you know ChatGPT, but there's so many more out there, and this video is only covering 4 of them. But I think those are the 4 most specialized for those tasks for sure. We're going to use ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, and Claude. Let me know if you didn't know any of them, but you will get to know them in this video. So what we're going to do is we're going to take each of those AIs, use them for a different step of the workflow. This will help us use each of those LLM's specialties and capabilities to the fullest, and depending on the step that we're in, use the best one adapted to that step, and therefore getting the best result. And by the end of the video, you'll know exactly how to do it yourself. So let's dive right in. Hi everyone, for those who are new on this channel, this used to be a travel channel. Most of you probably have started seeing my videos through that. But I'm making a shift to what I'm truly passionate about, which is AI workflows, automation, and basically altogether building systems that make my life easier and hopefully yours as well. I'm Henoch and I work as an automation solution engineer in my company, where part of my job is implementing AI automations. But more than that, honestly, I'm very obsessed with AI, and I am a very big Marvel fan, and so obviously I've seen those superheroes using Jarvis, the AI that Iron Man uses, that is super cool with holograms and all that, and basically can do anything for him. So when ChatGPT came out and everything started actually appearing more reachable, I thought, okay, this is the moment. I have to now play with this around as much as possible because I want to build this for myself. And so yeah, since I'm so passionate about that, I wanted to share this with you. I actually went as far as automating my blog posts for my personal website, the newsletter on it as well, my task management, some of my decision making, where it's like cooperating with me, helping me to decide on one or the other options when I'm stuck not knowing what I want to do. In the future videos, I will show you a couple of those automations and show you how you can build them yourselves, which is actually super easy. Today we're going to see a real life example. This is like the manual process of my automated process, where you use different LLMs manually, but at least you use them to accelerate the process in general, which still saves you tons of time. So what we're going to see is how to research and write a technical blog post using different AI models in sequence to really benefit from each of their capabilities. Everything I'm showing you today is possible on a free account, so you don't need to pay anything for this, and you can implement it right away. So let's go into it. ChatGPT is what I personally use for high-level insights, for a quick summary. I just go to ChatGPT, put it in and tell it, give me the important things. Let's go. I've already found 3 key articles that you got into your inbox, or you found them online and you found them interesting and you want to do a blog post about them. But you're way too busy and you don't have time to read through all of those blog posts, especially because they're super long and technical. So you feel like, okay, that's just not going to happen. So you leave it there, you never touch them. You basically lose the opportunity on getting a nice blog post and learning something from it. So what we're going to do is we're going to paste each of their URLs, because now you can use ChatGPT as well by giving it the URL of a web page. It can access that web page and see the contents as you would see them, like this. And you paste it into ChatGPT and give it this quick summary here that I have prepared and pasted in. And this you do for all 3 blog posts until you're done. And there it is. In about 10 seconds, I have a clear picture about what this blog post is about and the important key insights that I need to know about. I can quickly decide if it's relevant or not, and I have a foundation to build on. Now I've consolidated all of the documents with all the key ideas into one. I've told it to give me a full list of everything that we've extracted from those blog posts, so that I can just copy one thing instead of the whole conversation that we had into the next LLM. Since this is just surface level, we need to go a bit deeper, and there's none better than Perplexity at the moment. It is built to be a research assistant, and it's really good in searching for you other websites and resources. And the most important thing here is that it shows you the sources in the report itself and links them for you, so you can dig deeper if you need to, or ask more questions about it in follow-up prompts. The interface is really designed for this purpose. You can then, after getting the report, you can easily publish it as a Perplexity blog post. You can also extract all the information into one file that you can download, which is completely different to a normal Google search that you would have to do manually. So now in Perplexity, I'm going to take this pre-written prompt, put it in here, like that, and then paste as well the output that we got from ChatGPT earlier with all the points from the other blog posts or articles that we found earlier. Just give it all that and see what we get. And look at this. So now I can see what experts are saying, where other articles are mentioned, what the challenges are, what the counter arguments are. But this is no longer a surface level report. This is now research grade material that we can use for the next step. For us to get a blog post, we would now go into the next step, which is implementing it into Claude, my favorite LLM for longer written content, because it has a huge context window and is just, in my opinion, very natural in the way that you can make it sound, as well as adapting to your own voice. So I'm going to show you as well how we can make it sound a bit more like us to get something cohesive, well structured, and in our own voice. Let's jump right in. We do the same thing as before. We take whatever Perplexity gave us, copy it. I have already prepared a little prompt as well that we can just paste. And with those two things, we should be good to go. My special sauce here, which I think is important to make this still your piece, to already give it a kind of nuance of how we want to write it and who we are and context about us, so it can better fine-tune it to our own. What we can do is the following. I have prepared the prompt here, and as you can see, we have a normal prompt as always, where we say, well, how long it should be, some other structural points. But then very important to me here, further down, you can see I have personal context, and there is where I just told it a bit about me, about what I do and why this blog post matters to me. Because in the end, we don't want to just copy from everywhere else, put it into one and sell it as if it was our own. Because it should be specific to us and it should have a value to us. Other people will read it because they can relate to it, and if they cannot relate to it, if you don't even can relate to it, there's no point. So this is how we make it a bit more fine-tuned to ourselves and give our own voice into the mix. Let me show you. You put it in here and then basically post the whole research report that we got into there as well. And just like that, what usually took me 3 to 4 hours, starting with a blank page, is now done in 15 minutes, as you can see, and then this is ready to be published. What I usually also do as well, what I recommend to you, but not needed for this example, is that I go back into Claude, copy what we just got, and put it back into it, asking for some criticism. So I ask it, what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses, and how can I improve this, so that I can get a nice analysis and even further improve the blog post that is already quite strong and way better than whatever I could have come up with. But this way, you make the LLM think a bit more about what it's outputting and ensure that you have a nice, cohesive and well-structured, well-written blog post. Why do we copy it into another blank chat? We want it not to be aware of what we've done before. That way it has a fresh look at what we are doing right now. And you can be sure that it is not biased or anything. That way you're sure that you get a fresh set of eyes on the text that was actually generated by it anyway. But you can prompt it to do even better. Here we could stop. We could just now upload it, which is what I'm actually going to do, since I anyway have to upload a blog post. You will be able to see this in my personal website, which I will link below. But I want to go one step further and use another LLM that has some great capabilities to learn and get different kind of outputs from what you already have, which you then can use for different things to learn or to further deepen your understanding of what you've just researched. I think this is a good opportunity to use the next LLM, which is Gemini from Google. In Gemini, what I've done here actually is that I've put the whole blog post into Gemini, asked it beforehand to again do a research on it, so it has even more context on it. I think it searched around 20 more websites from which it then pulls information. And with this context now, if you then click on this button here to create an audio overview, which basically generates a podcast for you with 2 speakers where you can listen to what you've just created instead of having to read through everything. So this is a perfect alternative to get still what I've just researched in a different way.
Is deep dive, yeah. It's really about that shift. You know, from the basic rules-based stuff right through to AI that can actually think for itself. It's kind of the key, isn't it?
Right, so we're basically mapping out how this tech evolves. You start with RPA, robotic process automation. That's your foundation, really deterministic, you know.
If you want to go even further, you have other options like generate an infographic or a quiz or flashcards. In the end, it's up to you what you prefer if you want to learn what you've researched now. But yeah, I think that's quite cool and a good option to distill the information that you've just spent your time on. I'm not just publishing something, I'm actually then using AI to learn from it and improve my skills. And so I'm using this basically to turn passive research into active knowledge, which is, I think, the biggest strength that AI has. We went from zero, where we had a bunch of articles that we didn't understand, to a publishable and well-written and well-researched blog post that we now deeply understand. Each AI played a specific role: ChatGPT for the summaries, Perplexity for the research, Claude for the polished writing, and Gemini for the deeper understanding and learning of what we just researched. Okay, so we've seen that this workflow already saves us a ton of time, but here's the thing, we still have to do everything manually. We gather the articles ourselves, we then copy each of the links from the article into the LLM, then wait for the output, then copy that one into the next, then copy that one into the next, and then eventually copy that into the next as well. So we're copying and pasting constantly ourselves, waiting for the output of each one. So what if we could completely automate this entire workflow? This actually is what I've already done and is what saves me so much time in the end, because what I now have is a completely automated workflow. I just get a notification on my phone saying the blog post is now ready to review, the draft is fully done, and I just have to look at it, make any tweaks if necessary, and then upload it, which basically now takes a couple of minutes, which is just the time that I need to upload the finished blog post. This here, what you can see is N8N. This is my favorite automation tool. This is a tool that also helps beginners a lot, because if you can't code, you still can do pretty much anything that you want. So what I've done here is every 2 weeks, this workflow runs by itself and researches everything for me, drafts the first blog post, and then saves it to my Google Drive, where I then get a notification that the blog post is ready for me to review and add my own voice to it if necessary. This means I don't have to remember to do this. I don't have to copy and paste manually anything. I just have to open my Google Drive, review the blog post, and publish it. That's it. And this is just the blog post, guys. I have a bunch of other things automated, like the newsletter from my personal website that I send every month. It reads through all my journal entries, summarizes them, analyzes the key themes that I want to share, takes into account the template that I have set up for my newsletters so they are all consistent with the past ones, leaves it there ready for me to revise, update if necessary, and then just send to my followers. And I have a bunch of other things. I have my email inbox completely automated. I have a Telegram task management assistant that I call Friday, just like the AI from the Marvel movies. And I'm just getting started, guys. I have so many other things that I want to automate and further improve, because some of the automations are still very basic and they can use a lot of improvements. But in the end, I want to discover this with you and show you how I progress in my automations as well, while you get to learn from them. So here's my promise to you. In this channel, we're gonna explore a bunch of automations, a bunch of tools, play around with AI, have a lot of fun together, being nerds. or not. If you don't want to be a nerd, that's fine. But having fun with new technology every now and then, and just figuring out together how this works. This is not about following the AI trend. This is just me really being passionate about automating my life and making my life easier, because I can't be bothered to do things manually anymore. So if you're interested in learning more about AI, learning more about how to use it for yourself and how you can benefit from it the most, and build those amazing automations for yourself, trust me, it's easier than you think. It's really super easy. It's just connecting a bunch of dots together. Then follow me, subscribe, turn on the notifications so you don't miss those cool videos that we're gonna work on together. I'm going to upload every week on Sunday, usually. Sorry if I don't make it once or twice. I'm still figuring out how to be the most efficient with posting consistently. There's only one thing that I want from you in return. Let me know in the comments, what is the #1 thing that you would love to have automated because you're sick of doing manually and it takes a lot of time every week or every day or every month, whatever, but it is something that you would love to have automated. Let me know in the comments. I read every single comment that you leave, so be sure that one of those ideas is for sure going to be a future video. If you liked this video and if you found it valuable and if you're excited for the coming ones, please leave a like. It helps a lot to reach more people with this type of content, because nowadays AI is growing fast. We all have to stay on top of it. So you can either let it happen to you, or you can learn actively to conquer it and multiply your forces 10 times. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. See you in the next one. Bye bye.